pivoting is very, very important in Excel. I think pivoting is one of the most used, as a professional now, most used tools in Excel. And if you know how to pivot very well, you can do well in any organization. So what you have to put in mind is you have to learn this pivoting, and you have to keep practicing it always to get it right. So let's start. We have release date, state. This is your raw data. Now I will still be teaching us in Google Form how to create this type of questionnaire that will generate your data for you in case you want to collect data. So how do you do let's say you already have your data, which is what you are seeing here now. We have release dates, we have states, we have manager, we have sales rep, we have product type, we have quantity, we have gross revenue, then we have budget. Now what do? The first step to take is to pivot this table, this raw data, so that it can be in a more in it will turn to an information, from raw data to information that can be used for decision making at the end of the day. So how do you do that? You come to insert. When you come to insert, you go to pivot table. Now mind you, pivot table and dashboard have correlation, but I will be teaching us dashboard separately because it's very powerful. You click on pivot table. Now automatically it's going to highlight all the data that is available here. So mind you, if you are dealing with pivoting, you have to sort your data properly. If you check, these are text alone. There's no, these are date alone. I did not put number here or date or state here. So these are the things, and you have to look for empty space, blank. So now you see there are no blanks here. If there are blanks here, your pivoting won't be accurate. So you check, you clean your data properly. In our previous class, we teach on how to clean data. So you clean your data very well. So you make sure that this, as you can see, these are text. There is no value there. These are only value, these are values too. So this is a date. So you have to put that in mind. Now you click on pivot. So we have new worksheet. Put it at the back of your mind. New worksheet. We are not clicking on existing worksheet. We are still going to use the existing worksheet later on now. So you click on OK. Now this box will be shown to you. Now here we have pivot table fields. These are called fields. We have filter, we have columns, we have rows, we have value. Now anytime you are dealing with value, meaning number, you drag here. Anytime you want to filter something, you want to filter a particular column or something, you drag it here. If you want your table to be in column, you drag here. If you want it to be in rows, you drag it here. Now let's start with, let's say we have states. So I want it to be in rows. So these are the rows, you see, rows. Now let me delete it. If you want to delete it, you drag it outside. Let me drag it to columns. You will see the way it arrange it in a column form. So mind you, you can use column or rows, but depending on the analysis you are trying to do. So I will prefer rows. And beside, you can use both, depends on what you are dealing with. You can use both. So state here. If I want to use both now, I can drag sales manager here. You see, now we have Abeokuta. Then if I now drag my gross revenue here, there will be under, meaning Adeolu, this particular manager, his total is this. For this particular manager, his total is this. Therefore, the total of Femi is this, because Femi is overseeing Abuja and Kogi that we have here. Kogi and Abuja. So this is how to use the combination of column and rows. Now what I want to teach you now is not column and rows. I just want you to see how it works. So let me remove this. Now we have the full pivots of let's name this, let's call it regional sales. Let's call regional sales. Now it's paramount that, okay, we still want to do other pivoting. Must I go back to my table before doing another pivoting? No. You can easily copy this pivot now, copy it and paste it here. After pasting it, now you have two table pivots. What you have to do, maybe I don't want state here, you remove this. Then let's say I need sales rep here, I drag sales rep. I drag in sales rep here. Then budget, let's say I drag budget here. So the gross revenue and the budget is here. So you can easily look for your percentage in this place and add your percentage here. So let's say we want to do something different again. Let's say let me teach us another way of adding. That's why I said the adding existing worksheets. So let's go back to our pivoting. Now if we check, we have dates, column for dates, column for states, column for manager, sales rep, product type, quantity, gross revenue, then budget. This is our label. So what we want to do is, I don't want to be looking for sales rep Shegun and be calculating individually. I don't want to be, because Shegun appear more than, you might have a data set of 1000. How do you want to do it? Do you want to be cross-checking Shegun sell this particular date, he sell another one in this particular date, he sell another, and you need the total sum of Shegun. You want to know the total revenue Shegun is bringing in to the table. So that requires you to learn pivoting, because you can't be doing it manually. If you do it manually, something that's supposed to take you 30 minutes to do, it will end up taking you a full day to do, because you have 2000 data sets. How do you manage that? So you have to learn how to reduce your stress by learning pivoting. So it automatically sum for this. It will what pivoting does is, it will sum, let's say Lagos now, it will sum all the total gross revenue for Lagos. It will sum them together and put it under one Lagos, because we have plenty Lagos here, but it will sum it and put it under one Lagos, so that you can have one data instead of scatter data. So what you have to do is, you go to insert, you click on pivot table, it will automatically highlight it for you. And if it does not highlight it for you, go to this table range, click on this icon here, click on it. When you click on it, it will allow you to go and highlight the portion of pivoting that you want to do. So I will highlight just like the way I just did now. I press OK. Then new worksheet. I don't want my pivot table in this existing worksheet, so I need a new worksheet for it. then you click OK. Now it brings you to this table. Like I said, this side is called pivot table field. Then as you can see here, they write drag fields between areas below. Now all these things that you see here, everything that you see here are the label: release dates, manager, sales rep, products. So everything that you see here, let me show you, at the topic here, label will be showing here also. So meaning if you click on release dates, if you come here, all this information is under this release date, but it's not showing here, but they are there. That's the first thing you should know, they are there. Now, like I said, we have filters, we have columns, we have rows, and we have values. So I'm going to teach us on how to pivot our data that we have earlier. Now let's assume here we have sales rep. So I want to know, these are sales rep. So I want to know the total revenue Shegun bring to the table, the total revenue Wale bring to the table, the total revenue Kayode bring to the table. Now let me go back to my pivot. So you can drag your sales rep, to, you click it and drag, to your rows. You see it automatically bring all the names in one. So it's not repeating names here. You know, here we have repeated names, but here is not going to repeat any name for you. Here you won't have any repetition. That's the good thing about pivoting, you won't have any repetition. So it will only count one: Abdul Fatai, Ayo, Daniel, Ibrahim, Kanayo, Kayode, Lanre, Shegun, Stephen, Tiwa, Titi, and Wale. Now if I drag, like I said, this is value, this is where numbers goes. If you drag anything that is not value here, it will only count it as 1, 2, 3. It won't sum it, just like we did in sum if yesterday. So it won't sum it. Now it has to be value. Then where are the values? We have quantity as the value, we have gross as the value, we have budget as the value. So we are talking about gross revenue. You drag the gross revenue inside the value. Now what it does is, well, if we go to our pivoting, let's look for Daniel. I think, how many times Daniel appeared? This is Daniel, right? We have another Daniel here. So let's calculate this plus this. I think we still have another Daniel. This is another Daniel. So you will see the sum total is 190,881 if we are correct with the total of Daniel. Then when you go back to here, let's look, you see it's correct. So it sum the three together and bring it here. So we have the sum total for Daniel sales revenue here, which is 190,881. So let's move forward. Now we have this already. Then we want to go further again. I need another table for states. Or beside, let's say I even want to, okay, let's finish with this. Let's say we are done with this. We call it, let's give it a label. Let's call it sales rep revenue. This is the first table. Now let's create another table. You go to your raw data, you click on insert, pivot again. Now we are going to use existing worksheet because I don't want you to open another new worksheet for me. So I click on new existing worksheet, not new worksheet, now existing worksheet, and I click on this icon. It's now asking me for location. I want to go and identify the location. So I click on this icon. If I click on this icon, I come down to my sheet here, then I click, I want it to be here. I click this icon back, then okay. So we have another pivot table close to the one that we have done before. So what do? Let's say our states, I need to know the total income a particular state brings to the table, so that we can make decision that okay, this particular state is doing well more than the other states. Okay, we can know the ranking of sales and gross revenue they bring to the table. So what do? You drag these states, because I want to know what is going on in every state now, the total revenue of that state. So I want to know what they bring to the table. I click on states, then I want to know the total quantity that particular I want to know the total quantity that particular state is bringing to the table again. I drag it to value. You click and drag to value. You see, for Abeokuta, the total quantity they bring is 173, this and this. Very good. Now, mind you, don't forget that our product type is not filter, so it's calculating for all the products. It's assumed that we are calculating for all the products. So we have this. Then let's say we want to know the total gross revenue. Now you still drag it under this value again, so we have two. Now. So we have total, quantity. We have quantity. You can rename it. Okay. Okay, this already exists. So let's just give it a name here. Sales by region. Sales by region. So we have sales by region. Now let's do another pivoting to get different type of product type. Now we want to filter. Let's use filter now. Let me show you how filter works. Now in this case, let's say we want to filter all the product type are in one now, and I want to filter the product type. What do you have to do? You come here, you drag it to filter. Now you will see the product type. Now here there's a little arrow that is showing here. You click it, it's going to open all the products we have. Now we now said, oh, I don't want all, I only want to know the total revenue of charger, only charger. Then you said okay, it's going to bring the total revenue of charger alone for you. For people that are selling superfix or this, okay, let me narrow it down to superfix. Let me narrow it down to this particular product. So you can still go back here and still filter that I don't want for charger, I want for Nokia and iPhone. It will give you the total gross value of, it's going to change automatically. So that is how to manage pivoting. So, and let's say I don't want to go back to this pivoting and try to insert again. You can easily copy a particular, let's say I copy this and I paste here, so I can still use this to analyze other data too. So what am I going to do? I come here, maybe I don't need sales rep, I remove it. Maybe I need product type, I drag my product type here. So you will know the total revenue each product is bringing to the table. So here you can know that charger is bringing this sum of total revenue, iPhone is bringing this total sum revenue, then Nokia too is bringing this total sum revenue.